Shares of Lululemon fell 12% after the athletic apparel company gave a weaker-than-expected fourth-quarter outlook. In the third quarter, the company beat Wall Street's expectations on the top and bottom lines. Beyond Meat stock dropped more than 8% after being downgraded by Argus to sell from hold. The firm's analyst cited falling demand amid weaker economic conditions. Broadcom gained 3.1% after giving an upbeat revenue forecast and reporting better-than-expected quarterly results after the bell Thursday. The chipmaker also increased its dividend by 12.2% and said it would resume stock buybacks. Tesla's stock was up more than 4%, paring some of the losses it suffered this week. Reuters reported on Friday the electric vehicle maker will suspend Model Y assembly at its Shanghai plant between December 25 and January 1. Inventory levels at the plant had risen sharply over the summer. Shares of Carvana rose 2% after lenders told the Wall Street Journal that they don't anticipate the online car seller will file for bankruptcy soon. These debt holders are joining together amid reports earlier this week that the company is looking to restructure its debt, the paper said. Carvana had seen success during the pandemic, but rising interest rates and weaker car demand have hurt its performance. Netflix gained 5% after being named a Best Idea for 2023 by Cowen and being upgraded by Wells Fargo to overweight from equal weight. Cowen said it sees free cash flow ramping up next year, while Wells Fargo said content growth would lessen customer churn. RH, formerly known as Restoration Hardware, rose 4.5% after reporting third-quarter earnings per share and revenue that beat expectations. However, the retailer also said it expected business trends to deteriorate. Shares of the crypto services firm fell 2.6% after Mizuho downgraded Coinbase and said its price could fall another 30%. Crypto equities such as Coinbase have been under pressure with cryptocurrency prices, as investors digest the macro picture and the latest developments on FTX. Shares of DocuSign jumped 16% after the electronic signature company posted upbeat quarterly results. It also reported better-than-expected billings, subscription renewals, and additional sales to existing customers. The wholesaler gained 1.6% after Cowen named the stock a Best Idea heading into 2023, noting the company's focus on value could be a winning strategy as consumers get more price-conscious. AmerisourceBergen fell 2.7% after Walgreens sold about $1 billion shares of the drug distributor. Walgreens remains its largest shareholder, with its stake now down to 17% from 20%. The Brazil-based mining company gained 3.5% after Morgan Stanley upgraded the stock to overweight from equal weight, citing a cocktail of positive catalysts such as price momentum for iron ore and China exiting its COVID-0 policy. Shares of Bath & Body Works rose 2.1% after activist investor Dan Loeb boosted his stake in the retailer. Loeb said he might push for board charge to improve governance issues at the company.
Turkey oil tanker logjam snarls Russia oil sanctions. Ankara has declined to scrap a new insurance inspection rule it implemented at the beginning of the month despite days of pressure from Western officials. A total of 28 oil tankers are in a queue seeking to leave the Bosporus and Dardanelles Straits, the Tribeca shipping agency said on Friday. G7 wealthy countries, the European Union and Australia agreed to bar providers of shipping services, such as insurers, from helping export Russian oil unless it is sold at an enforced low price, or cap, aimed at depriving Moscow of wartime revenue. Turkey's maritime authority said it would continue to keep out of its waters oil tankers that lacked appropriate insurance letters. Western insurers said they could not provide the documents required by Turkey as it might expose them to sanctions if it emerged that the oil cargoes they covered were sold at prices that exceeded the cap. The Turkish authority said Turkey had plans for removing 8 tankers that did not have P&I insurance waiting in the Marmara Sea to cross the Dardanelles from its waters. These tankers would be escorted to cross the Dardanelles under additional measures after the strait is closed to maritime traffic, the statement said. A shipping source said 4 of the tankers waiting to cross the Dardanelles were scheduled to go on Saturday with tug escorts. One Turkish-flagged tanker got a P&I insurance letter from an international P&I Group member insurance company after Turkey first asked for insurance letters from oil tankers, and that tanker crossed the Bosphorus on Friday, the statement said. The ship backlog is creating growing unease in oil and tanker markets. Most of the tankers waiting at the Bosphorus are carrying Kazakh oil, and Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said on Thursday the U.S. administration saw no reason that such shipments should be subjected to Turkey's new procedures. Washington had no reason to believe Russia was involved in Turkey's decision to block ship transits, she added. The European Commission said on Friday the delays were unrelated to the price cap and Turkey could continue to verify insurance policies in exactly the same way as before. We are therefore in contact with the Turkish authorities to seek clarifications and are working to unblock the situation, a spokesperson told Reuters. Turkey has balanced its good relations with both Russia and Ukraine since Moscow invaded its neighbor in February. It played a key role in a United Nations-backed deal reached in July to free up grain exports from Ukrainian Black Sea ports. Relations between NATO allies Ankara and Washington have at times been rocky, however, as Turkey last month renewed calls for the United States to stop backing Syrian Kurdish forces. The Biden administration levied sanctions on Thursday on a prominent Turkish businessman Sitki Ayan and his network of firms, accusing him of acting as a facilitator for oil sales and money laundering on behalf of Iran's Revolutionary Guards.
Florida legislator who sponsored "Don't Say Gay" law resigns amid COVID relief fraud charges. The Florida state representative who sponsored legislation opponents dubbed the "Don't Say Gay" bill resigned Thursday, a day after he was accused of fraudulently obtaining tens of thousands of dollars from a federal COVID relief program. State Representative Joseph Harding, a Republican, said his resignation would be effective immediately. He has been indicted on a slew of charges, including wire fraud, money laundering, making false statements and other crimes. The 6-count indictment alleges that Harding, 35, sought more than $150,000 in COVID relief loans and received roughly $45,000 in January and February 2021, for a pair of companies that had been dormant in the months before the applications were filed. In a resignation letter addressed to Florida House Speaker Paul Renner and posted on Harding's campaign Facebook page, he said his legal woes, which include a trial in the case set to begin in January, required his full attention. It has been a great honor to serve the people of this state and more specifically the people of Levy and Marion counties, Harding said. However, due to legal issues that require my complete focus, it is my opinion that now is the time to allow someone else to serve my district. Renner said in a statement, "I understand and respect his decision to submit his resignation. Any questions about his case should be directed to his legal counsel." The indictment alleges that in applications to the Small Business Administration in 2020, Harding claimed Backshack Inc. and Harding Farms had half a dozen employees and gross revenue from the previous year totaling more than $800,000. State records showed the entities were dormant and had no employees. Harding pleaded not guilty in court Wednesday. In a statement posted Thursday on Facebook, Harding said he had repaid every penny of the loan. "There will be a time when I can tell my story in detail, and I will," Harding said in statement, adding that he has done my best to cooperate fully with all authorities. He did not immediately respond Thursday night to request for additional comment. Harding, whose district includes Ocala, was first elected in 2020. He sponsored a bill this year prohibiting classroom discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity in the state's primary schools. The bill, which was criticized as an attack on Florida's LGBTQ community, was signed into law in March by Republican Governor Ron DeSantis.